What's up, you guys? Going to be coming at you with another Tower 50 video for some people having more trouble. A lot of people have not raised Kai, they have not raised Carrot. I am going to be using Carrot in this video, but there's a couple really basic things that I really want to emphasize and get across in this video. A lot of people have the problem that they've raised too many tanks. They've raised Chris, they've raised Jack, and they feel they're completely useless on this. Chris, even if you have a low-level Chris, something that everybody's going to have, for the most part, is Chris's third skill hopefully maxed for the defense debuff. Even if you didn't raise Chris, you'll still have been getting the Chris genes and leveling up her skills. So hopefully you've invested into the third skill of her, because it's going to be pretty important for this strategy. I'm not going to use Kai. I'm going to use Deb. I'm going to use Chenny, and because the boss is Rock, I think I'll use Jenny. Maybe I should go with Moo instead of Jenny, but yeah, I'm going to go with Moo instead of Jenny to get some heals in there and some high criticals. Alright, well, that's what I'm going to go with. These are all very common characters to have. Carrot, like, you're going to need to get Carrot if you're not independently wealthy enough to invest a lot of money into a cell phone game. Then you're probably going to need Carrot going into the future. If we do see more bosses like this that have immunities to all major statuses, then debuffs are the only really way to weaken them. Carrot's got high dodge. Something that we've noticed a lot with the tower maps is all the monsters and bosses have a hit rate under 10%. They're usually in the 6 to 7% range, so like it's very, very, very easy to dodge them. Getting a Carrot with 40% dodge, fairly easy. Even Ian would be a good character for this boss if you've raised Ian. Which is surprising because I think Ian's absolutely terrible, but he would be a good character for this with his dodge and his defense debuff. Now, I haven't raised Ian past 3 stars, so I'm not going to be using him for the purpose of this video. But what I do want to demonstrate in this video is even if you don't have enough DPS, if you can't go full DPS teams here, it's alright. You can throw in a tank, just make sure the tank is Chris, and you want to use her defense debuff skill. So things that you need to notice real quick. Chris is first, then Carrot. The reason is because Chris isn't going to do any damage, but her defense debuff is the only thing that you could really use her for. If you do have a somewhat tanky Chris, she would also be a good character to use your Mercenary on. To swap out on turn 2 or farther. If your Chris can survive and you can swap it out with a Mercenary, that would be ideal. Because then you can, on the third turn, turn the Mercenary off and then get another round of defense debuffs on the boss, because the debuff lasts 2 turns. Alright, but anyway, here I'm just going to get into it, and we're going to hopefully kick the crap out of this thing. A lot of people having trouble with the 50 boss. It's all you can see in chat all day. But that is perfectly fine. Alright, so what I'm going to do with Chris, very first thing, I'm going to use the defense debuff. Now, inspecting the boss, he's got 40% defense. That means he's got around 4-something thousand defense. Chris's maxed third skill, if you just want to take a look, reduces defense by 2,720 for over 3 turns. That's pretty fantastic. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead with that. Now notice the damage is ignored, but I just did 50,000 damage in crits. Those were lucky crits, but also with the defense being down, that's very helpful with the compound bonus. Oh, the boss's paper. For some reason I thought the boss was Rock. I don't know why I thought it was Rock. Alright, next, Carrot. Carrot has this third skill also decreases defense. I'm not maxed yet, but right now it decreases by 2480. So after Chris, you can see that the boss's defense is down to 22. And now watch after Carrot. With 2 debuffs on it, now he's got 0% defense. And I've already done 140,000 damage. Now, I have a strong Carrot. I have strong characters. Nobody on my team right now has less than 20,000 attack. So these numbers are not going to be exactly transferred to the same way that you're going to be doing things. But having 0 defense is huge. Also having 0 crit rate is huge too. Now you know consistently that this boss is not going to be able to crit you. Now this is the next part that's somewhat difficult in deciding what you got to do. I find the best way is to block it off so he can only attack the characters in the center. Because Chris has aggro also, so the boss will try to attack Chris first. Now, if you have like a 2 or 3 star Chris, but you have the skill maxed, the 3-turn defense debuff is good enough to have her in here if you don't have enough characters to fill up all 5 slots. But we'll just look at Deb here. Deb's a pretty common, easy hero to raise that everybody has. Fast growth rate, good attack, and let's just take a look at how much damage she can do here. Alright, I think it hits 5 or 6 times, so I just did about 100 to 120,000 damage. Fantastic. Okay, now Chenny, I'm going to stand here, and I'm going to use my next great skill here. Now my Chenny is very, very strong, but even for me, 144,000 damage without a crit is fantastic. Now, this is the most important part right here. I'm going to box the boss in the center. I am standing on the lava on all 4 parts. That's the only really shitty part about this. But what I can do with move from here is I can heal the other 3 characters. Also, because Chris has the aggro, the hope is that he will attack Chris next turn. What's also nice is Moo gets a lot of crit. Okay, so we still went after Carrot, which is depressing. But you could already see the health on it. Like if I had a Hellfire up, I probably could have just killed this thing right now. I don't have a mercenary on me either, otherwise I could probably do it with Chris. Alright, and luckily for me, everybody survived. I'm a little bit disappointed that that Carrot got hit so hard. Typically she can dodge most of this stuff. But I guess I'll just come over here and kill one of the healers with Chris because I don't need her for a defense debuff. Try and draw the mobs closer to Chris instead of the main attackers in the middle. And just checking here. Yeah, 240,000 health. That's I believe Hellfire does about 20% damage. So with this and a Hellfire, you should be fine. I'm gonna put Carrot here. Hopefully I don't get counterattacked. Alright, and how much health does it have? 130,000. Oh, I was trying to get to move so I can heal my characters up and make it kind of like a perfect win. But that is probably one of the better ways that you're going to be able to do it with weaker characters. 0% defense means that all your skills, it's basically like every hero being Kai, or having the same advantage as Kai, to just completely ignore defense. You do full damage on everything, and if you can't stay alive for 2 to 3 turns, and do 1,000,000 damage, even if there's 200,000 damage being dealt by a Hellfire, you're going to have a very hard time doing this. So max out a Carrot, try to use Chris unless you have Ian. If you have Ian, and he's high ranked, he'd be better here because he could actually deal damage and lower defense, which would be fantastic, so you can get your 2 defense debuffs on that. The only downside is Ian is rock, but what's nice about Ian is that he has a high dodge rate, so he could probably avoid most of these characters. If I had to switch Chris out for Ian, that would be the only thing I would change, and then I would stay far away from the boss. Instead of getting close to it, I would be on the 4 corners of the map, and I'd probably have Ian at the top spot, and then maybe Chenny at the bottom. I have a ghost step set on Chenny, and then I would keep the squishier characters on the side. But very, very, very simple, very straightforward. They have low hit rate, stack dodge. They have low defense, 2 defense debuff characters, heroes, Like what's nice about Chris and Ian is because you'll have always been getting the basic genes from regular missions and farming bosses and things like that. You could have their skills fairly high or maxed at this point in time, which is really nice. So that guarantees that you might have one or two good defense debuff heroes. If you don't have Carrot, you could probably even try it out with Chris and Ian. But if you haven't raised Chris or Ian either, like it's going to be pretty hard if you only have three characters that can really attack. I just did it with four characters that attack. Obviously, Chris can't do anything. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully, this is helpful. I I was going through people's teams thinking of different ways that they could beat the boss, and I saw somebody's party and they had both Jack and Chris, and that's just where I got the idea. You know what? If you just bump his defense down to nothing, then you can make all your heroes Kai. So that's just how I saw things, and hopefully it works out for you. If you have any other questions or any other floors you want seen done, just leave a comment down below and I'll get to it.